Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I am here with Mr. Ashish Chauhan of the National Stock Exchange. Thank you, Ashish ji. You've just kicked off market today and our online analytics coverage of that. Thank you very much. I want to begin by asking you, you said that more participants are needed to create the right kind of awareness about India's markets. Elaborate a bit more on that.
In a way, in last 3 years, Indian markets have seen a kind of a very large number of new market participants coming in from hinterland also, and we have gone to almost 7 crore unique PAN numbers, and NSE itself has more than 22 crore accounts, but 7 crore unique PAN numbers is a pretty large achievement. In some ways, if you look at it, it accounts for almost with direct and indirect investment in mutual funds through EPFO and also 7 crore PAN numbers. I think we are touching probably 20% of the households already, and which is a very large sort of number of people who have now started investing into Indian stock markets, whether directly, indirectly. And that is, for me, that requires a level of sophistication, level of information, which is in public, trusted people who can advise the public and investors at large. And we are also having sort of a lot of, due to social media and otherwise, we are having a lot of people who are using or misusing the private channels or social media in different ways. And we have been kind of, you might have observed, we are giving a lot of notices to the market about specific people giving advice and taking money, giving assured returns and all, which should not happen. And I think more and more trusted sources like Market Today would ensure that the people gravitate to the trusted sources rather than what I call fly-by-night information providers.
Mr. Chauhan, you spent a lifetime in the financial markets. And prior to this, you also ran India's and perhaps Asia's oldest market exchange. At the NSE, the largest exchange of its kind, the issue of trust and genuine information, which you have constantly been highlighting, is very, very significant. And I'm glad you mention us as partners in that journey. For the average retail investor, what are the 2 or 3 top things he should keep in mind? Because we get a lot of questions, Mr. Chauhan, ab kya hoga? And people even ask you about stock specific. We are not discussing stock specific, but a retail investor, and you gave us the numbers, so many people coming into the markets in the last 3 years. What is it that they should keep in mind?
One of the fundamental aspects of markets is investments. And many people try to project that buying in the morning and selling in the afternoon is called investment. It is not. It is trading or speculation. I think investors should stay away from that. Investors should try to invest for at least 3 to 5 years, even longer. And if they don't have the ability to understand the balance sheets, also the trends, economic trends or industries, they should go through mutual funds or other important intermediaries which are regulated by SEBI, including portfolio managers and others. But effectively, if you want to invest directly or indirectly, it's your money. You need to be very careful. Don't believe in tips. Don't believe in even what comes on television or websites saying what I should do with these shares. I think it's your money and you need to basically, it's your duty to preserve it and also enhance that money for yourself and your family. And even getting into highly leveraged activity like options, I think retail investors should stay away unless they understand this well and they have enough ability to handle losses. So some of those things which we have seen over last 30 years that people want to go after anything what is happening, but the investment people who get impressed by large investors who have made money over their lifetime, they have invested and not traded. Many times we mix up trading with investments, and I would rather urge every investors to, especially the people who want to be investors, to kind of understand all these nuances.
You said something very important. Lalach buri bala hai is the how I take Mr. Chauhan's words. One more question which I've always wanted to ask you in the recent past, and this is, should one invest on looking at the stock price, or should we invest in a company without looking at the stock price?
No, that's a good question. Only problem is being a regulator. I generally don't advise on where to invest. I can tell you what not to do, what to do in general framework. But overall, I think the company management and their reputation, their past also has a great bearings. In addition to, of course, the business the company is and what kind of track record the company itself has. But overall, I think you need to worry about the entire economy, world economy, how the trends are moving in terms of the monetary policies, fiscal policies. It's a
It's a
very
big,
complex world.
it's a very complex world, and I just came back from Davos, Ashishji, where I can tell you and also share with our viewers. Everyone said that the globe is facing a recession. Three surveys were issued at the World Economic Forum. All three said a majority of the respondents, that is, top CEOs, say that Europe and Western economies are going into a recession. No one used that word about India. It is about growth, and some people said jokingly, why are you complaining for 6% growth? That is very good. The question that I have, that India has crossed the United Kingdom in terms of GDP. In terms of market cap, stock market cap, where do you see India at in a few years' time?
No, in a way, India's market cap also is now larger than UK's. We are now the fourth largest market in the world after US, China, Japan. We are the fourth largest equities market in terms of market capitalization. And it's for me the beginning. If you believe in demographics, which brings the growth, if you believe in the technology which creates the wealth, and it's going to increasingly be faster and faster, so wealth creation will be faster. Put together the lack of capital requirement for new age companies, which India has always been lacking in terms of capital. Put together, I think India is in a right place, right time. When I say that last 1,000 years, when the technology race was being run, India was not even in the stadium. Today we are at the front line, and I think we will win over next.
That's a very good point. I end this conversation only with one specific point, the last one that I want to ask you. The budget is just a few days away. From a market perspective, what should investors be looking forward to? Anything that you would like to mention that you are looking forward to specifically from the budget?
I always say that what is good for India is good for NSE. So if the market, if the budget is overall good for India's growth, I think market would take it very positively.
The National Stock Exchange, and if we can add National Stock Exchange of India. Ashish Chauhan, as always, thank you very much for your time. That was the boss of the National Stock Exchange telling us about the markets and more. If you've been, thank you very much for watching.